What's up, math peeps? Today we are talking evaluating expressions. So that sounds like a lot going on. Like, I don't know, I have no idea where she's going with this. So let's just break it down to evaluate. If you Google it, you're going to see something like find a numerical equivalent. All right, still, Presley, that's a lot going on. Find the value of something, a numerical equivalent, something equals something. And what are these somethings we're chatting about? They're expressions. And not like, hey, I'm super expressive, but we're just talking about algebraic expressions. Algebraic expressions are, it's a lot of expressiveness. Algebraic expressions are groups of numbers, variables, operators. So you might have all these different numbers and letters, and you might have addition and multiplication, all this stuff in a group. And a little fun fact, there are expressions and there are equations. Expressions do not have an equal sign, and equations do. And if you hear equations, you might see and hear that the equals is embedded in that word. So when you see an expression, you're not going to see the traditional equal sign that you're so familiar with when you are solving equations. These are just a big group of all of these different terms that we're going to do something with. What are we going to do with them? Evaluate them. You're still like, a lot of words, Presley. Hang with me. Pretend like, maybe you're searching through your mom's Facebook feed. There's like some Minions memes and like some neighborhood drama going on. And then boom, there's one of these, right? There's like, what's the spider equal? And then people start arguing about that, but that's besides the point. There's no need to argue today. I'm actually going to tell you what the ghost and the pumpkin equal. Now you just have to evaluate, what about 3 ghosts? The numerical equivalent of 3 ghosts is 12. What about a ghost and 2 pumpkins? 20. That one always takes me a second. The numerical equivalent of the ghost and 2 pumpkins is 20. You just evaluate an expression. You don't even need me. I can just go home. Actually, it's 2020. I am home. But hang with me, because here's the deal. In math class, you know that you're not going to have ghosts and pumpkins when you're in high school algebra, but it's the same idea with just different representation. You might see something like this. Evaluate 4 plus 2c minus 3a when c equals 3 and a equals 1. So first, I want to pull out that expression, right? There's all those words happening. I know I need to evaluate. And so I'm going to take that expression and I want to identify. Identify what? Identify the variables and their numerical equivalent. So I've identified the 2 variables, and for me, I like to visually see them. I like to use a highlighter or maybe draw a box around the C and circles around the A if I just have a pencil or something that I'm working with. But do something so that you see that they're equivalent. C is 3. Like the ghost is 4. It's the same thing, but this has a number attached to whatever else this little thing is. In our case, it's a variable. It's a letter. Now that I've identified the equivalent values, I can substitute. So go ahead and rewrite it all out again and substitute in your numerical values. And last but not least, simplify. Move through that process as you're simplifying using the order of operations. Super important. These are pretty simple. You add and subtract from left to right, multiply and divide left to right. Oh my gosh. If you want to see something really cringy, go check out my YouTube channel when I taught 6th grade and we did a song to a Pink song, a parody with order of operations. But you know what? I will never forget the order of operations. Anyway. Move through, simplify using the order of operations. In this case, this would be 10 minus 3, which is 7. Cool. Easy stuff, right? Boom. Just like in math class, you're like, ghosts, pumpkins, this is easy. And the next thing you know, it's the F word, fractions, right? And don't be scared. It's no big deal. No matter how hairy and scary these expressions can become with exponents and fractions or decimals or whatever might happen, it's really a simple process that you follow every single time. And it's really not as scary as you might think. So the first step, again, is to identify. identify those variables and their numerical equivalents. Found them. What do I want to do with them? I want to substitute. So I'll move back through that entire expression and I'll substitute the number for the variable. Cool. Now grab your phone, don't start texting and getting on Discord or Snapchat and stay with the video. But if you need a calculator, just move through these. Remember, a fraction is just division. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Super simple. Simplify, again, make sure you use order of operations. We're just adding and subtracting, so we can move left to right. 7 minus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 6. All that crazy business for 6. No big deal, right? So you guys have evaluated expressions. The big takeaway here is to just make sure you follow the same process each time. Identify the variables, maybe highlight them, circle them, visually identify them, tactically go ahead and separate them from each other, whatever works for you. Next, substitute. Substitute the number for the variable. And last but not least, simplify, using the order of operations for sure. Thank you guys. You're awesome. Peace out.